Welcome back to Gettysburg. It's now July the 2nd, and it's, about 4:20 AM, so let us see if the Federals do anything. That we can see, anyway, since the sun's coming up. Oof. I had used what was left of my 1st Maryland Cavalry Battalion. I wanted them to try and find the Federal flank, but instead it looks like all they found is being wiped out. Like, well, the rest of it, considering it's only a detachment. Unfortunate, but I'm moving Jenkins down here to take its place. What are you even part of? Fritz Hugh Lee's cavalry. I've lost a lot of cavalry, unfortunately. But the sun's coming up, and soon the battle will begin once again. But I do want to somewhat hold off until maybe about 8 o'clock, until McLaws arrives down where Anderson is, which is where we're looking at. Okay. We're isolated, but otherwise nothing else. And we can't escape, unfortunately. But I could potentially just rescue my boys. But it would likely give away my game plan. So it's a case of, do I give away my game plan to rescue 49 cavalrymen? Or do I try and keep my game plan hidden while for just a little bit longer? But I could go here, for example, with Posey's brigade, wipe them out, probably wipe them out at the same time, and then escape. Well, in the meantime, first and foremost, McLaws is to continue zooming up the road as fast as possible. You're part of Walford's brigade. Walford's brigade is a little strung out, but we are bringing up Alexander's guns as well, which will be nice and useful. Just keep on bringing the guns forward. And who else just arrived? The Washington artillery has just arrived. So Napoleons, mostly just Napoleons by the looks of it. But that is the Washington artillery now on the field as well. So with the Washington artillery on the field now as well, it's 4:20. So in 20 more minutes they'll probably reach Hare's Tavern, at which point they'll break off. Perrin. This is Pender's supply wagons, so I can either bring Pender down here and then along, or I can bring him over here and along. I think I'll bring him along here. And the 1st South Carolina Rifles will continue onwards. In the meantime, it's near dawn, so the question is, do I risk... Jenkins, you and your cavalry are to come charging all the way down, no matter what. Because I have a feeling I'm going to need you. When is my 1st cavalry arriving? Wade Hampton arrives at 1 PM. So, Wade Hampton will arrive at 1 PM. For the most part, then, I'm going to bring Jenkins, for the most part, that direction. I'll leave his horse no, I won't, actually. I'll bring the horse artillery that way as well. I'll basically just leave the A and B of the 1st North Carolina Battalion sharpshooters up there. Now then, let's get these guns into relatively set positions. Donaldson artillery. You're also all with Heath, so you can come round there. In the meantime, we remain... Now, the real question of the matter, what to do there. We'll also bring up the Rockbridge these guns for 2nd Corps, of which they will start to take position ready for... right, you won't fit in that hex, but we are going to set up them to try and bombard Cemetery Hill. Now, Posey's brigade. Alright. Posey, the cavalry is not likely to escape, but if he does chase after me, there's a risk that he will just get run down. As for Mahone, we are to set up in those woods ready, I think. The Floridian Brigade can move forward. A Company. So what have we got there? 6 guns. Your B Company, and then you go into there, and then you remain about there. We move the rest of Mahone and Anderson's supply wagon there. Oh, there you are, Mahone. I was wondering where he was. They're Mahones, they're Perry's, Mahone. Alright. Mahone and his brigade will be set. Basically, Anderson is to attack the peach orchard, the wheat field, and then push on over here. McLaws, when he arrives, he'll take up the position slightly south of him, and then he is to push again across the Emmetsburg Road, up the wheat field, and then basically hit them at the same place. Just ever so slightly tweaked. Wright will arrive in, what, 2 hours. So with my claws going to be set up ready in maybe, you know, at about 8 o'clock he will be ready roughly. But for the most part, we are set and ready to go with our barrages. Now the question is, do I want to reorientate Early's division? I'm actually going to commit the 5th Louisiana forward as skirmishers, just to see what they can see. For now. Gordon's brigade did not get the most rest, unfortunately, so the 38th Georgia's still pretty exhausted. But they'll still be useful. Now, what if I bring them down here? Yeah, I can bring them down there rather than continuing on. Anyway, that will be this turn done. So it's the 4:20 AM turn, July 2nd. We are still just preparing for daylight, which will be dawn is in 20 minutes. So the next turn will be dawn. So onwards we go. And I will see you with the next part.